How's it going, guys? I'm Daniel,
And I'm Michael.
and this is AEL and IEL. We are a product designer and a fashion designer living in New York, and we're starting this series to give you the designer's take on popular lifestyle items, from sneakers to clothing and objects that we're just interested in.
Today we're talking about the 2011 Air Jordan 5 Retro in the black metallic silver colorway. This is one of the most iconic Jordan 5 colorway, and it's a shoe that we both own. I purchased mine about a year ago on eBay from a reseller. I was looking for a while and I got them for a good price.
And I actually got mine on release day. I just happened to be around a Foot Locker on 34th Street, and I went inside. I think it was like around noontime, and somehow they still had my size left, so I got these for retail. Had them ever since. This shoe is actually one of my favorite Jordan silhouettes, along with probably the 1, 3, and 8. The 5s are my other favorites. I picked these shoes up because you can't really go wrong with the colorway of them. They're pretty much monochromatic with just variations on like a black scale with the off-white plastic and the gray in the tongue or silver in the tongue. Really, the only thing that pops out is just the Jordan logo on the front, which is in red. This shoe is clearly a structured basketball shoe, which is now, I believe, turned into more of a lifestyle shoe than a basketball shoe. Um, Everything from the highly cushioned ankle pieces on the sides to the kind of much more geometric, specifically angled pieces of fabric that are cut out. This shoe just kind of speaks more to almost a piece of architecture. This shoe really uses, or I think uses to the best of its ability, ties together a bunch of materials and a bunch of aesthetics in a really interesting way. Everything from, obviously, you have your rubber slash EVA midsole, your nubuck leather, this kind of plastic mesh material, this black plastic that holds that can be seen at the lace holes. Obviously, a 3M type of fabric, and then it's this hard like acrylic lace lock right here, and it really ties in kind of materials from a broad spectrum. The Jordan 5 really goes for a type of angular geometry, I think. Most of the patterns throughout the shoe use, even though the corners are knocked up or the edges are knocked off, they use kind of these straight lines to portray a very graphic, visual, kind of architectural aspect to the shoe.
I think I actually enjoy this 3M tongue very much. I think it's a very nice pop to the shoe that is mostly black, and just this little red Jumpman logo. It's just a nice aesthetic pop to the overall shoe. And the little speckle, I actually really love the little speckle detail that occurs on the midsole.
It's almost like a 90s throwback.
Well, for me, this is actually the second pair of Jordan I've ever owned. The first one was the Bred 11s, and I actually got them from a store, and I was really lucky and got them for retail. I actually wore them around when I was traveling Europe, and the midsole, the white midsole, actually got really messed up just from the dirt on the road, and there were scratches, and I was quite upset that my first Jordans were a bit beat up. So when I thought about getting another Jordan, I was definitely looking for a shoe that had a black midsole. So I was just looking around at classic silhouettes, OG colorways of 1s, 3s, 5s, 11s. I ended up picking these ones because they were a good price. 5s are one of my favorite Jordan silhouettes. It's a very monochromatic shoe. For the most part, it's an all black shoe, which is something that's very prominent throughout my shoe collection.
I mean, you really can't go wrong with an all black colorway.
Yeah.
Which I think is a pretty like a main selling point of this colorway of Jordan 5.
I'll talk a little bit about the comfort of this shoe. It's definitely a great shoe for just walking around every day, but it's definitely not a shoe that you want to play while playing basketball. I actually wore them to play basketball over the summer in Shanghai. I only brought my Jordan 11 Gamma Blues and these 5 black metallics, and after deep thoughts, I decided that I was going to wear these because I had no other basketball shoe. And it was definitely not a shoe that's very comfortable playing basketball. It doesn't have great traction. This shoe doesn't have good cushioning. It's a very hard shoe to play in, and it just creases very easily. So I kind of messed up my pair a little bit by playing basketball in them, but I wear my shoe.
At this point in time, 2015, there are obviously much better shoes meant to be used for basketball. So being that the shoe is a high top Jordan and that this tongue comes out much higher from the rest of the shoe, it makes wearing them with pants and kind of getting that stacked look or that tucked look much easier. The side cushions and this large tongue really hold in the hem of the pants or of whatever cuff that you're wearing, whether you're doing type of pinroll cuff or you have a pair of joggers on. Your pants really won't come out of your shoe.
Being an all black shoe is definitely a very wearable shoe, no matter what type of outfits you're going for, whether you want to dress it up a bit or going for a little bit more of a street style look. It's a shoe that's very versatile in my opinion. It's a shoe that I can see myself wearing more times than not. So it goes very well with the clothing I have because I have a lot of black clothing. I love wearing all black outfits.
So like other Jordans that have an icy sole or some type of clear plastic on them, they're obviously going to turn yellow over time. And you can fix this easily with ice sauce or bringing them to some place to get cleaned. But with the Jordan 5, we feel that it really isn't a problem. And a lot of times people actually just keep the worn look of their shoe because the Jordan 5 silhouette actually wears really well, and these kind of wear marks give the shoe a little bit more character than, I guess, or wear a little bit better than other silhouettes of Jordans.
Yes, I definitely think that this is a great shoe overall to get. It's definitely one of my favorite Jordans now that I own it, and even before I owned it, it was very high on my list of Jordans. I don't have a lot of Jordans, but this is something that I would purchase again if I haven't purchased it. To your point, it definitely wears very well. I think my pair is definitely more beat now than my Brett 11 was, but I think it just has a better look to it, beat, than a lot of, I guess, other Jordans, especially ones with patent leather. I really enjoy my shoe, and it's something that I'm definitely going to keep in my collection for a long time. If you like this video, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe.
And if you're interested in keeping up with the other things that we're up to, be sure to follow us on Instagram at Martinez
and at Michael X Chang. Links will be provided in the description.
Thanks, and we'll see you guys in the next one.